Finding someone letting it gets back on lolly. That's weird. I know, like some of these apps, I swear.
Airfield cleared from lanes to the right shoulder. Eastbound 80 before Green Valley Road. You're still backed up from 680. A grass fire in San Jose. South 680 before 280 101 off to the side. That's your traffic. I'm Brian Gray.
Everyone has a community, a neighborhood, school, place of worship, or other chosen groups. Communities can provide support when you need it, including helping your kids avoid underage drinking and other substance use. Learn more at talktheyhearyou.samhsa.gov.
Sneezing, coughing, stuffy nose, runny nose, post-nasal drip, interrupted sleeping. I was groggy at the end of the day.
Allergies and sinus congestion were making Jana miserable. Then, a friend recommended Navage. Navage provides immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Navage helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
Navage gave me instant relief. I didn't have to wait 30 minutes. I didn't have to wait an hour, 90 minutes. I didn't have to wait a minute. I ran the rinse and I felt better.
Stop suffering from congestion and start breathing and feeling your best again with Navage. Navage.
I've had people ask me how I find relief, and I tell them Navage immediately. This thing is amazing.
Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Download the free Upside app now and use promo code RADIO for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's promo code RADIO.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injuries. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price is best at getting the yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
It's time to live out what you believe in. Listen to the DashCam Show every Saturday at 8:30 a.m. right here on 560 KSFM.
They demand total loyalty. The so-called patriots of MAGA California. Loyal to dangerous Donald Trump, no matter what. Just like MAGA Republican Eric Early for U.S. Senate. MAGA Republican Eric Early, dangerously pro-Trump 100%. Eric Early always supports Trump and the MAGA agenda. Republican Eric Early is endorsed by the California Pro-Life Council, opposed to all abortion. And MAGA Republican Eric Early loves the Second Amendment. Early's so extreme, he even opposes a ban on assault weapons. MAGA Republican Eric Early, way more dangerous than Steve Garvey. Steve Garvey dodges Trump, refuses to say if he'll vote for Trump now. Steve Garvey even said he might vote for Joe Biden, while Eric Early calls Biden the worst president of my lifetime. MAGA Republican Eric Early for U.S. Senate. Too MAGA, too Trump, too dangerous for California.
I'm Katie Porter, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Katie Porter for Senate.
Know a veteran who needs help? Nation's Finest provides supportive services to veterans and their families who are struggling with housing-related costs. Visit nationsfinest.org or call 1-833-468-9676. That's 1-833-468-9676.
That's 800-781-1815. Again, 800-781-1815.
Be quiet now so he can educate you. Whether you like it or not, Mark Levin is on the radio.
Mark Levin, the research arm of conservative media. Call in now, 877-381-3811.
I've played this before, but it's worth emphasizing right now. Former Democrat Governor of Colorado, Richard Lamb, since deceased in 2003, in Washington, D.C., in an event where he was supposed to speak about something else, decides to talk about immigration.
large.
He didn't even stop.
All corners of the earth.
He did
People
not
come and
stop
go.
at all.
Sometimes they don't hear certain things, so I want people to hear this. He said, I want to tell you how to destroy America. Go.
I would like to share with you my plan to destroy America. If you think that some do, that America is too smug, too rich, too self-satisfied, not diverse enough, too white bread, I have this plan. Toynbee, said that all great nations rise and they all fall, and he said, and the autopsy of history is all great nations commit suicide. So here's my plan, 80 parts. Number one, I'd make it a bilingual, bicultural country. History shows us. No bilingual, bicultural country lives at peace with itself. There's not one, I believe, that doesn't exist with an incredible amount of tension and conflict, if not civil war. My second part of my plan would be to invent something called multiculturalism. This would be two parts. Number one, I would say that all cultures are created equal. It would make no difference and would make it impossible to talk about such things as culture. And the second one is that I would really try very hard to make people continue their cultural identity. I would replace the melting pot with the salad bowl. My third part of my plan would be to make the fastest growing demographic group in that country the least educated. I would add a second underclass to the first underclass, unassimilated, undereducated, antagonistic, and then I'd have 50% of them drop out of school, not graduate from high school. The fourth part of my plan would be to get the big foundations to fund, and big business to fund these efforts with lots of money. I would invest in ethnic identity and victimology. I would get them to think about their lack of success was only the fault of the majority. I would start a grievance industry. The fifth part of my plan is I would develop dual citizenship. I would promise people actually divided loyalties, allow them to vote for both Vincent A. Fox and George Bush. The sixth part, and this is important, I would place all of these subjects off limits. I would make it taboo to talk about, actually, or criticize this whole thing. I would make it come up with a word like heretic used to be 200 years ago. Let's say we'd call it racist. And I would try to accuse anybody of this that would object to my ideas. My seventh part, then, I would make it impossible to enforce our immigration laws. I would develop a mantra, let's call it this, that because immigration has been good in the past for America, it will continue to be good in the future. My eighth and last part, and it's important, is I would censor this book. This man is dangerous. He's on to my plan. Don't read this book.
Victor Davis Hanson's book, Mexifornia. Now, they keep talking about bipartisan legislation that the Senate had prepared. It wasn't bipartisan. 3 or 4 Republicans voted for it. That's not bipartisan. That's a joke. Mitch McConnell, with his lapdog Langford, negotiated it in secret. So none of the other Republicans even knew what was in it. They did it in secret because this is the way totalitarian regimes function. And so I wouldn't have it and warn you about it, but as soon as it came out, I read it. It was a long monstrosity. People on TV were defending it. They hadn't even read it. It had poison pills throughout. It had escape clauses throughout. It was not the toughest border bill ever proposed by anybody, despite what liberals say on panels on TV and all the rest of it. It was a joke. Loophole after loophole after loophole, and enshrined numbers of illegal immigrants in numbers we'd never seen before in American modern history. But there was a bill that was proposed on May 2nd, 2023, by the Republicans in the House. And it went to the Senate, called H.R. 2, and they wouldn't even discuss it. Now, you hear people say this, but you don't know what was in H.R. 2, do you? You hear people say we offered H.R. 2, which was the most aggressive effort ever to secure our border. So what was in it? Well, let me give you some examples, and why Schumer wouldn't take it up and why McConnell wouldn't fight for it. Among other things, according to its own summary, it required the Department of Homeland Security to resume activities to construct a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border. It provides statutory authorization for Operation Stone Garden, which provides grants to law enforcement agencies for certain border security operations. Prohibited DHS from processing the entry of non-U.S. nationals, aliens under federal law, arriving between ports of entry. That is, no processing of anybody who tries to steal their way into the country. It limits asylum eligibility to non-U.S. nationals who arrive in the United States at a port of entry. It authorizes the removal of a non-U.S. national to a country other than individual country of nationality, or last lawful habitual residence. In other words, some of these countries now, like Venezuela, won't take them back. So this law, this would-be law, said that you send them back to the last place they came from, like Mexico or wherever. Expands the types of crimes that may make an individual ineligible for asylum, such as a conviction for driving while intoxicated, causing another person serious bodily injury or death. Authorizes DHS to suspend the introduction of certain non-U.S. nationals at an international border if DHS determines that the suspension is necessary to achieve operational control of that border. Prohibits states from imposing licensing requirements on immigration detention facilities used to detain minors. The blue states, of course, were trying to regulate their way out of this. Authorizes immigration officers to permit an unaccompanied alien child to withdraw their application for admission into the United States, even if the child is unable to make an independent decision to withdraw the application. It imposes additional penalties for overstaying a visa. It requires DHS to create an electronic employment eligibility confirmation system. Modeled after E-Verify system, requires all employers to use the system. Slam shut the border in between the ports. Slam shuts anybody seeking asylum in between the ports. The right to remove anybody from deportation. Prevents, across the board, in every instance, the hiring of an illegal alien. The other things it doesn't say here supplies significant amounts of money to beef up the Border Patrol to do border patrolling, not diaper changing. This was H.R. 2. No loopholes. Yes, right? Plain English. And the Senate would not take it up. Less than a year ago. Instead, they come up with this cockamamie crap where they want you to believe that Congress has actually done something, the president's actually done something. Joe Biden has burned down the border. He's taking a fire extinguisher and telling you, let's pass this into law. I will get credit for fixing the border, but every damn loophole will exercise in order to actually prevent us from doing what we claim we are doing. This is a two-faced, mealy-mouthed, nasty, chameleon man in the Oval Office. He doesn't give a damn. We now know more about this poor girl, this nursing student. Her head was hit so hard with a blunt object, so often, that the medical report says her skull was disfigured. That suggests you hit somebody in the head with a bat, or shovel, or God knows what. They fall to the ground and you keep pounding their head with the strings. I want you to think about that, how it sounded, what it must have done. beautiful young woman who was going to contribute to this society and help people as a nurse. By some punk sleazeball from Venezuela who had committed other crimes while he was here, but not enough, apparently, for New York City to do anything about it. We've had up to 10 million people come into this country illegally. About 400,000 of them are unknown gotaways, they call them. They don't know a thing about them. Nothing. They're in our streets. They're in our communities. They're in our schools. You have no idea if your number's going to come up, if your ticket's going to be punched. You don't have the foggiest idea. Minding your own business, walking into a 7-Eleven. Minding your own business, taking the subway. Minding your own business, taking a bus. Minding your own business, taking a job. It's all over the country. People being raped and murdered and assaulted. We have enough of that in our country without importing it. Massive amounts of resources redistributed to American citizens, many of whom desperately need them. Cell phones, hotel rooms, 3 squares a day. I mean, what the hell is this? Joe Biden's going to go to the border, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to go to the border in the next 36 to 48 hours. Where he's going to tell you, but for the Republicans, but for this legislation, but for Donald Trump telling them not to sign it, but for them making it a political issue, an election issue, but for all that, we would have a secure border. But I'm here, Joe Biden. I'm here to sign what I can do. I want to do more. They won't let me do more, but I'm going to sign an executive order, maybe more than one. Will applaud on the left on cable TV. Why don't the Republicans just get behind this? I'm a person who believes it's a solution. Why don't they just fix this? Put the politics aside. I mean, Donald Trump telling them, don't go for the bill. Donald Trump said don't go for the bill because it is a horrendous bill. It is a lie. It is a fig leaf. Cover an ugly lie. And people opposed it and voted against it, not because they were told to. They're not Democrats who walk in lockstep, vote in lockstep. No, because they're patriots who know this is crap. And yes, it's about damn time that Joe Biden and his party is held to account. They call it politics. I call it responsibility and accountability. It's time to hold them responsible for what they're doing to our country. Whether it's the border, whether it's the economy, whether it's our police forces, whether it's the military. It's time to hold them accountable. And if that's political, so damn well be it. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
At Prime Male Medical, their mission is to provide you with the medical care you need to improve your ED, low T, and incontinence. With years dedicated to improving the lifestyle of their patients in the Bay Area, Prime Male Medical strives to improve your love life and overall health. Listen to Dr. Robert Rowley.
We have virtually every medication known to man to help men. We specialize in acoustic wave therapy, sublingual lozenges, which bypass the digestive system, making them work faster and more effectively, injectable medications, and testosterone treatment for those patients who need it. Impotence problems can be treated in just one visit.
Why wait? Don't lose hope. Call now. Get a PSA test, testosterone test, Doppler ultrasound, and a full year of free visits for